It's Monday, and you know what that means. Jersey Firstly proudly brings to you the latest edition of Real Talk. And yes, I am New Jersey's premier award-winning journalist. Top 50 Latino is voted on by the Latino Spirit Online magazine, along with the United States Latino Affairs Initiative. Certainly the weapon of mass disruption, folks. And of course, we know it because the traffic tells you that every single month. The People's Choice and the People's Voice. And without a doubt, you know it, ladies and gentlemen, the most handsome face that runs the place. It's me, Fernando Uribe. Happy Monday. Happy December to everybody. As we're wrapping up 2023, folks, only just a few more episodes to go here as we see 2024 right in the horizon. A lot to cover still, as politics never takes a break here on the show, folks. I want to thank you all for tuning in from wherever and however you may be doing so right now on Facebook Live, also via StreamYard, as well as on the Jersey First YouTube page. Don't forget to check us out on all of our social media platforms. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Of course, subscribe to Jersey First on YouTube. You'll be notified of all the great content that Jersey First TV brings you every single week. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And of course, wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's Spotify or SoundCloud, download Jersey First and take it with you anywhere at any time. And ladies and gentlemen, I cannot say it enough how proud I am to be on the dream team of Garden State Media. That's right, folks. It is Jersey First TV. Of course, brand new episodes of The Nader Narrative premiere every Thursday, hosted by just the outstanding Elizabeth Nader, and brand new episodes of Bridging the Gap with two of my favorite law students there, AJ Malillo and Stephen Rombolo. Of course, also premiere every Thursday. And of course, every Monday night, you can tune in at either 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the latest edition of Real Talk right here with Jersey First TV. Folks, a lot to cover today, obviously. I'll talk a little bit more, of course, about the great traffic we continue to get here on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, all organic, okay? As organic as the produce section at your local Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. 21,000 plus views for the month of November, ladies and gentlemen. It would not be possible without all of you that tune in every single week. Of course, my family, friends, acquaintances, colleagues, and I know all the haters out there, you still tune in every single week because you know what? You can't help yourselves. And of course, there's always some chatter going around online about what type of journalism I do. And, some potheads in New Jersey media will go as far as to say that maybe I'm cosplaying a journalist. Well, that's not necessarily the case, folks. Obviously, it's award-winning journalism, award-winning opinion journalism, as a matter of fact, here on this program. So while, potheads around the state of New Jersey sit around and just, smoke weed all day and really, the only pussy in the house that can really stand to be near them are their cats. And, of course, insufferable activists and everybody else. Folks, you know what? Learn a little something. Tune in every single Monday night because, folks, the traffic doesn't lie, and neither do I here on this broadcast every single week. And, folks, again, I want to thank you all. I'll talk about that more later in the show, and you definitely want to stick around for final thoughts. I have a lot to say about what's going on tomorrow night in Hoboken, a special runoff election. I have a lot to say about some of the power players in Hoboken, and, of course, the Lollipop Guild in Hoboken. We all know who they are, folks. Yes, Robbie Bala, Joe Quintero, Emily Jabor, Phil Cohen, Vijay Chachuri, and, of course, all the other, let's be honest, the clowns in city government in Hoboken acquiescing to the Lollipop Guild. I'll talk more about them in a little bit. You definitely want to stick around for that. Folks, I won't disappoint. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, hey, while Election Day passed in 2023, certainly 2024 is on the horizon. Oh, and by the way, just a shout out to all my fellow members of Cowboy Nation. Nice victory last week against the Seattle Seahawks. Great to see the Eagles lose yesterday. That trash organization. Always good to see their fans. And I got a feeling this Sunday night, the Eagles are in for a beatdown once again in Dallas, Texas. We're going to find out in just a little bit this Sunday night on NBC, live in front of the entire country. I don't know. I think the Cowboys might, just like slap them around like a pimp looking to check in on his hose, for that weekly quota, as they say. But we'll find out Sunday night, folks. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, politics never takes a break here on the program. And of course, 2024 is right around the corner. Every House seat around the country is up for grabs, especially here in New Jersey. And one district that's really interesting to me is CD3 all the way down in South Jersey. And joining me live right now, folks, one of the candidates running in next year's primary in CD3, folks. She's a big fan of the show, a stand-up lady, a great American, and someone who looking forward to talking to. Ladies and gentlemen, she is Shirley Maia-Cusick. Join us here on Real Talk. Shirley, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me, Fernando.
I appreciate
it's a
it.
pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's all mine. Absolutely. Now, folks, again, if you're not familiar with CD3, it is a district in South Jersey comprised of really, a multitude of municipalities. As a matter of fact, it stretches around 3 counties and 53 municipalities. Obviously, a lot to name. I'm not going to name them all, but certainly they include Bordentown, Chesterfield Township, Edgewater Park, Evesham Township in Burlington County, as well as Mount Laurel, Mount Holly, in addition to Woodland Township, as well as Wrightstown. In Mercer County, they include East Windsor, Hamilton, Hightstown, Lawrence, and Robbinsville. And in Monmouth County, they do include Allentown, Englishtown, Freehold Borough, Freehold Township, Homedale, Manalapan, Marlborough, Millstone, Roosevelt, and Upperfield. So a very, very big congressional district down in South Jersey. So Shirley, really, I think you'll be asked this question a lot between now and the primary, but why are you running to represent the 3rd Congressional District?
It's a beautiful district. I'm running for our New Jerseyans. It's been 9 months campaigning, and the 3rd district is one of a kind. Nice people, nice New Jerseyans. It's a very, very good area to just run and exercise our citizenship. I'm very intrigued with this district. It's big. You did a good homework, by the way, Fernando, to tell all the name of the cities. I like it very much. I'm running for New Jerseyans. I'm running for us. I'm running to just get back our America dream. Our American dream, Fernando, is just slipping away from our hands.
It really is. We talk about record inflation. We talk about our approval rating for a joke of a president somewhere in like the early 20 percentile. And it's crazy to think that coming up in 2024, obviously it's a big election year, a presidential election year, which I know obviously we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But really, Republicans have a chance to keep the House, hopefully add to the majority that they already have. And certainly in the Senate, it's really almost a 1-seat majority. So, Republicans have a chance to flip some seats, turn some seats red, possibly even here in New Jersey, for example, coming up next year, but of course throughout the country. And that's big, especially in a time where in Washington, we're seeing so much incompetence. We're seeing, a budget get fatter than, the Victoria's Secret models they're putting out there lately. We're seeing irresponsible spending, foreign aid that should not be going to Ukraine or anywhere else, to Israel or anywhere else. We need to help our veterans. We need to help our seniors. We need to help our kids, Americans. I'm always about that. I'm always about America first. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not being a nationalist. It's not being a racist. It's not being a xenophobe. It's worrying about Americans. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that, Shirley.
It's nothing wrong, Fernando. We have to just reclaim our America for a lot of things, a lot of issues we have to touch base and reclaim and help our citizens. The Democrat Party is not representing us accordingly. They just taking our America away from us. They just want to disrupt our families and want to just disrupt the parents in school. It's a lot of issue. Parents' rights, economy, board of security, name it. You can name it. It's very hard. So it's time to we citizens stand up and just work together and get back what we belong to us, which is our liberty. Get back the economy, get the economy in a good stand, which we can afford it. Just for you understand, New Jerseyans and our citizens, we paying more to buy less. This is insulting. So it's ridiculous. Like, how can we just have the same pay paying higher taxes and take less to home from the groceries, pay more in a gas pump, and it's ridiculous. It's sad. So we have to just take back our America. So it is sad.
No, it certainly is. And folks, if you're just joining us right now, it's 6:10 here on the East Coast. My guest this evening is CD3 candidate for the Republican Party coming up in 2024. Shirley
Yes.
Maia-Cusick join us here on Real Talk. Click that share button, folks. Sharing is caring. And let everybody that you know online and let them know how much you enjoy Real Talk right here with Jersey First TV. Now, Shirley, certainly the current representative in CD3 has chosen to not run again for that seat. He's chosen to run for the Democrat primary for the United States Senate coming up next year. A lot of talk has been going around about what's happening with that Senate seat. We'll talk more about that later, obviously. We'll talk about sort of like the monarchy that I think that we're living in New Jersey, right? It seems like the governor of New Jersey is basically trying to hand his wife a Senate seat. And, we'll talk about that a little bit later because obviously it's been in the news. But back to CD3, obviously with Representative Andy Kim choosing not to run again in that district, it's looked at as a district that's very winnable for Republicans. And obviously you're the first declared Republican to announce for CD3. But let's get into the district. Let's get into really listen, on a national level, we know that the economy is looking bad. It's not working for everybody. Despite what the president will tell you, it's not working. Groceries are still expensive. We're seeing gas prices that are still way too high. We're seeing the cost of food, the cost of commerce. I mean, everything is just more expensive. Interest rates, okay? If you want to buy a home in this housing market, it's almost impossible. We went from like a 6.5% interest rate for mortgages, and we're approaching 10% now. And someone might say, "Oh, 4% is nothing." No, folks, 4% when you're talking about a mortgage, ladies and gentlemen, that is considerable money. So people are struggling, especially in your district, Shirley. So let's talk about really what would you like to address? Again, should you be victorious next June in the primary and ultimately, hopefully, win next November in 2024? What do you want to tackle as a member of the House of Representatives when you take office in January of 2025?
The economy is the first thing. The border security is the second thing. And also, we have to understand, we have to address the parents' rights. We cannot allow the parents just be attacked like they are the enemies for the kids. No, we don't want the government to co-parent the parents. Our kids is our kids, but the economy is the biggest one. The economy. How can you just survive with the same paycheck and everything goes in a high price? Everything is very expensive, and you just keep living life and nobody supports you. So let me get that straight. So once I will be over there on the floor being as a congresswoman, who's going to pay my salary? It's the constituents. It's the people who elect me. So now they pay me to now work for them. That's what we have now from the Democrat Party. So it's very important that we get back what we deserved and work together with the constituents. Knock doors, talk to them, ask them what is the main concern. I have been talking to my district, campaigning and walking around talking to the small business, and let me tell you, it's right from the get-go. They tell me right away, the economy, Shirley, we cannot take it anymore. Also, we need to secure the border. We need to address the border because we don't feel safe anymore. So it's important. So my plan is to just get together with my team, which I have a great team, thank God, and get together with my team and address and ask every constituent for that CD3, the third congressional, and interact with them, not only for election, for the whole mandate, for the whole course of 2 years. Be in touch with my community. I want to represent them from the day one to the end, because that's the most important. I want to listen to them.
Well, I'll say this, and you bring up border security, and I'm with you. I'm deeply concerned because when you watch the footage at the border, never mind like the liberal establishment media, whether New Jersey or nationally. I mean, we're talking about like live streamers, on the ground journalists that are filming, live streaming what's going on. I mean, we're talking about, listen, it's an invasion. That's what it is. And mind you, I'm the son of immigrants. I would never ever diminish the immigrant experience, the struggle. Okay, I look at my parents, for example, two immigrants that left communism in Cuba, a bad economy and poverty in Colombia, came here, had to learn the language, worked hard, instilled that work ethic in me. So believe me, ladies and gentlemen, despite what many on the left in New Jersey want to say about, my viewpoints, nothing racist here, nothing xenophobic, but we have to sort of understand that while the United States is the land of opportunity, again, people will jump in rafts and go through shark-infested waters to come here.
Yes.
No one's leaving here to go to Venezuela. Okay, no one's leaving here to go to Cuba. Okay, so this is the land of opportunity. But what we're seeing on the border is downright irresponsible, and it starts with the president. It starts with the incompetent vice president.
Yes.
It starts with the Secretary of Homeland Security, another incompetent person in Washington. Mayorkas. I mean, you want to talk about the Three Stooges. This is what it really comes down to, Shirley. Because one thing is, listen, the preservation of borders is written into our Constitution. Any democracy, any republic in the world will tell you that sovereignty and the preservation of borders is crucial to a country. This idea that we have all these activist groups in New Jersey, and we don't know who they are, these garbage organizations, okay, that tell you, oh, it's racist. No, it's not racist to believe in border security. We just cannot let this invasion continue. But it seems like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Secretary Mayorkas, and a lot of the Democrat leadership in Washington are more than happy to let everybody and their mother in from Central America, from South America. And you know what? Hey, they just think that money grows on trees.
Yes. Fernando, look at me. I was born in Brazil. I am exactly the American dream. The American dream is come to this country, to the front door, pay all the dues, comply with the laws, become American citizen, work hard, and have a success in any area you choose. I am a very successful businesswoman. I raised my 3 daughters over here. I have 6 grandkids. And my firstborn American citizen, he's a Marine. So why can't we apply everything for those want to come to America, live here, and exercise the law? This is America. America, it's a land of opportunities, Fernando. If you understand the whole concept of immigration over here, as I do, so we have to close the border. We have to update the immigration system. Not only that, Fernando, it's important to update the whole department and also incentivize the entrepreneur business. It's a lot of people want to invest in America, and the immigration department, Fernando, it's so low and it's so behind, so confused, inappropriate to exercise anything to help any immigrant want to come over here. Do you know, in order to you apply, if you are an entrepreneur from outside, if you apply to invest in America, the timeline to wait is in about for 3 to 5 years to wait in a line in order to just get ready. The complication is tremendously. You cannot incentivize nobody in this kind of laws we have. So it's important to close the border, update the immigration system, exercise the law. We have great laws, but the system is not working. Why? Because the Democrat Party don't want that. What they are looking for is to disturb the laws we have, to not exercise the laws. It's a shame because this country is a beautiful country. So we can have if you look my bio, who is Shirley Maia-Cusick? The American dream.
Yeah.
Came to this country and exercise everything, comply with the law, and succeed. That's what people want. So why
Listen,
can they do the whole thing according to the laws we have? That's it.
I'm with you. Folks, if you're just joining right now, it's 621 here on the East Coast. My guest this evening is CD3 congressional candidate coming up in 2024 for the Republican Party, Shirley Maia-Cusick here. Join us on Real Talk via Jersey First TV. Click that share button, folks. Let everybody know how much you enjoy Real Talk here on Jersey First TV. Shirley, again, you mentioned the economy. Obviously, I think that's going to be front and center next year. As we know, it's a presidential election year. We're going to see who the president will be facing off against. Obviously, polls will tell you it's the 45th president, but we'll find out. Obviously, that's why there's primaries coming up in February all throughout the country to see who the Republican nominee will be. Obviously, all 435 House seats will be up for grabs. And of course, here in New Jersey, there'll be a Senate seat, which I know is obviously one of the hotly contested topics as well. But here in New Jersey, I mean, obviously, we hear all the time, and you mentioned, for example, parental rights. And that was an issue, Shirley, that I know that last month, during the legislative election season here in New Jersey, that didn't resonate too much in a lot of districts. I know it worked locally in a lot of different municipalities, but on a state level, it just seemed like Democrats, weaponize the same old nonsense. They weaponize abortion, which here in New Jersey, a woman doesn't have to worry about it. Okay. I mean, you want to get an abortion up until the moment of birth, you have that option. You want to have a drunken weekend with the girls, Monday morning you wake up with the wrong guy, guess what? Go to CVS, get a plan B. So it just seems like Democrats weaponize things that, and again, the media helps them by sort of pushing this agenda, but that's not the case next year. I think next year, to your point, the economy, border security, I think, to some extent, I think maybe parental rights, maybe not as much as in other parts of the country. I think, New Jersey is very different, right? South Jersey is very different than North Jersey. It's different than Virginia, Ohio, North Carolina, Florida. I don't know if that's as big an issue, but I would say that obviously, to your point about the economy, trying to see what we can do about regulations, right? I mean, maybe drilling more domestically. I mean, listen, we were paying under $2, if I remember correctly, from like 2017 to 2020. And all of a sudden, the president of the United States, because he's more worried about possums and porcupines and, I don't know, seals in Alaska, should be drilling here. But instead, he wants to import oil, which we all know that foreign countries that are hostile to the United States are not going to sell us petroleum at a rate that's competitive. So I think drilling domestically is important. I think obviously deregulations is important, right, for the economy. What other things do you want to focus on also, should you be elected, hopefully that you're elected in next November?
We're going to be there. I'm going to get that chair and work hard. I worked my entire life over here in this country, and I proved myself. Now it's time for me to give back to my Americans, the America I love. But most important right here is the economy, as I said before. So how we do that? Okay, here's the point. As a businesswoman and as a household, what do you do with your money? You bring money and you budget and you spend what you have. So you don't spend what you don't have. So in order to fix the economy, we have to or reduce the spending or bring more money. We have to budget. So we have to find out where is the areas we can save money, where the money goes, which is important, and figure out and administrate better the state and the district in order to serve our constituents. It's simple as it is.
No,
I don't know why they complicate it.
No, absolutely. Listen, you're absolutely right. It's like it's you don't have to be, the dean of the business school at Rutgers University to understand business. And again, sort of the importance about deregulations and what's going to work, cutting taxes. It's funny to me. You're a business owner, Shirley, so I think you'll appreciate this perspective. I'm not a business professor, even though I play one sometimes on television. But, when you look at cutting taxes, cutting payroll taxes, right? Again, making it easier for companies to hire, Here in New Jersey, you hear progressives and all these democratic socialists and all these other idiots that think they know about the economy and economics, and they don't understand that employers employ, they hire.
Yeah.
And when they're able to do that, when they're able to, again, not get, suffocated with taxation and regulation, they're going to hire people. Listen,
Yeah.
you can raise the minimum wage all you want, right? Here in New Jersey, right? All we hear from the left and progressives, well, New Jersey needs a $15 minimum wage. Okay, great. Guess what? By January of really next month, in less than 30 days, okay, New Jersey will be seeing finally that $15 an hour minimum wage that they started in 2018. But here's the problem. Inflation's still a problem. The cost of living is still a problem. Housing is still a problem. Rents are still very high. Interest rates are high for mortgages. You can't buy a house. So you can raise the minimum wage all you want to $20. It still doesn't address, Shirley, the fact that you have to cut taxes. You have to cut regulations. Otherwise, it's like, oh, here's a puncture wound. I just stabbed you. But you know what? I'll just put a Band-Aid on the cut.
It is hard. It is hard for our citizens, and it is sad. You can see when you talk to the constituents, especially in our district, when you talk to them, you can see the pain when they go to the groceries. Let's put it this way. My father-in-law is 93 years old. My mother-in-law is
God bless him. God bless him. God bless him.
And she is 88 years old. So they lived with the same money, the same pension, which means they go with that money to the grocery and they keep spending more and taking less to the house. Yeah. So this is kind of like, this is a people pay taxes in their entire life. They have no respect for that. So the state is just thinking about to pass laws which just got address the cost and put more money. They printing money. What's going on in here? So we have to administrate the state, the government, like a business. I have my business. I have my employees. If I don't have the money to pay my employees, I'm going to close my business. So my employees take home their weekly salary, and they feed their family with that salary. So it's very important to we just address what is the problem, get the problem resolved, not just talk in a campaign like the Democrats does. Address the problem, work hard. Let's administrate the state and help the constituents what they need. Let's listen to them. They pay us. They pay once I'm going to be on the floor, I'm going to receive a salary. Who's going to pay my salary? The taxpayers. And they get frustrated. They get completely frustrated. You can see in their eyes. They call me and say, Shirley, please do something. Come, grab this chair and do something, because it's important to us. We cannot take this anymore. It's a shame. The parents also need choice for their kids. Sure. They need protection to their kids. Understand? So the border has to be secure in order to get the order and exercise and comply with the laws, because the more immigrants they put over here, Fernando, more we paying from our taxes. They cost us money, high tax dollar. So if we have that money to pay to support all this immigration to America, why can't we just close the border? Use the money to close the border.
Listen, I agree with you. And when we're seeing this invasion of illegals coming across the border from Central America, South America, what happens? They move into our towns. They crowd our schools. Okay, it becomes a burden for teachers, where now classrooms that were 20 kids are now 30 kids. And again, by law, you're obligated and required to teach these kids, whether they're here legally or not. They're also using social services. They're also, in some, listen,
healthcare.
Yeah, healthcare. Obviously, exhausting those services that, quite frankly, are already as scarce as they are. Okay, in some cases, really ruining the quality of life in a lot of towns. That's the truth. People don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Okay. Yes. And I think that if we don't practice border security and believe in sovereignty, because again, it's in the document. Okay. For all those people on the left and socialists and progressives, I know you failed high school history, plus high school biology and economics, but somewhere when you read about history, you understand that sovereignty is important. Okay. Yeah. Listen, Shirley, in Brazil, just like in my father's country of Colombia, okay, I can't just go to Colombia tomorrow or Brazil. I can visit, sure, but if I decide to stay there and I live there illegally because I'm not a citizen, okay, I don't have the right to go and demand that the Brazilian government say, well, I'm here now, so you know what?
No, you can't.
You know what? If I can't get a job, then I should be eligible for, public assistance. That doesn't happen in Colombia. That's not going to happen in
Yes,
Brazil.
no. Fernando, I am super in favor to immigrants come to America as I did.
Sure.
So when I comply with the law to come over here, I knew what that cost. I knew what takes to do to come over here and become American citizen. So I am proud, super proud to be American citizen. But most important is Americans first.
Yes.
And
Yep.
also America first.
Yep. Absolutely.
So what is important is close the border and exercise the law. The money we put in this craziness, which is the immigrants come over here, close the border, update the immigration department,
Sure.
Incentivize and control the economy and administrate the country, the state, in my district, my beautiful district, as a business. What comes in has to pay the bills.
Sure.
If I don't have the money, control the budget, I have only two choices. I have to take or more money or cut the expenses, cut the bills. So where can I cut it? How much more I'm going to sacrifice the constituents? It's ridiculous. It's sad, but we still have hope in America. I still think that next year we're going to flip a lot of seats. And also we're going to get a great president. And we're going to have that very strong America back again to us.
Well, hopefully, listen, when it comes to flipping seats, hopefully it starts with yours. That's for sure.
Thank
Before I let you go, Shirley, any important websites, social media, any emails you want to give out tonight to anyone who's interested in volunteering and working for your campaign?
ShirleyForCongress.com is our website. And Shirley for Congress and the media everywhere. Would be my pleasure to interact with anyone. Everyone is welcome, especially for my beautiful district, to interact with me, to deal with our team. And we're going to keep walking with our grassroots, our constituents, knocking door, talking to them, listen to them, and have them coming to tell us what they need. It's important because they are the ones demand. They are the one going to give my job, which I'm looking forward to have. We're going to have a good result. America will be back on 2024 very strong. And I'll be there for my Americans, my constituent, and my district.
Folks, 2024 is going to be a very interesting year. Let's keep the house red. And obviously, let's flip some seats. It starts in CD3 next year with my guest, CD3 candidate, Shirley Maia-Cusick here on the program. Shirley, God bless you. Keep up the good work. I'll be cheering for you. Have a great Christmas with your family. Happy holidays. Best wishes for a new year. And we'll talk to you again soon here on Jersey First TV.
Thank you, Fernando. Likewise, Merry Christmas. And we're going to have, God will help us. America will be back strong.
I hope so. And by the way, shout out to your great team, to Ariana Brown. And I know he's going to kill me for saying this, for Stone Cold Steve Bush. I love him. And great team.
Thank you. They are strong. They are my right and left strong hand.
Absolutely. Shirley, God bless you. Cuídate, que Dios te bendiga. And we'll talk to you once again soon.
Gracias, mi amor.
Take care. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Folks, great episode there with Shirley Maia-Cusick, our guest this evening here, as she is vying for the Republican primary in CD3 down in South Jersey coming up next June. It's going to be a busy year, folks, in 2024. A lot of great guests coming up, and I'm sure we'll definitely make it a point to have her back on the program in the new year. Obviously, it's an election year. There'll be a lot to talk about, folks, not just in New Jersey, but of course, in national politics too. Folks, again, before we call it a night, a couple of things to address. And I talked about it at the start of the broadcast, and I think it's important to remind people, especially a lot of the haters, but once again, ladies and gentlemen, okay, once again, Real Talk with Fernando Uribe, getting amazing traffic in the month of November, 21,000 plus views and counting, all organic, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, nothing boosted here. I'm not vaccinated, so believe me, if anyone doesn't believe in boosting, it's Fernando Uribe. So again, thank you to family, to friends, colleagues, classmates, okay, fellow pro wrestling fans, fellow members of Cowboy Nation who tune in every week. By the way, let's go Cowboys. Hopefully looking forward to slapping the Eagles around this Sunday for sure. But folks, without all of you, even the haters, this traffic would not be possible. And I get it that there are plenty of journalists in New Jersey, well, really propagandists, let's be honest, who take exception with my brand of award-winning journalism, right? Who don't like what I have to say and will accuse me of not being a journalist or whatever else. And folks, again, you have to sort of look at the source it's coming from. Who? Potheads that sit around all day and just smoke weed and get up at 11 in the morning and maybe do a little bit of work once or twice a week, right? Okay. And let's be fair, like the only pussy in the house that can stand to be near them are cats. Because God knows it's not their wives. Their wives are going to be out working as many hours as possible. Why be home and deal with insufferable people like that? Right? Or do nothing, know nothing activists that have shows of their own and get 10 views if they're lucky. Or other journalists that are too busy, I don't know, thinking about what's in the food court at the Gateway Center, right? To talk about who's really a journalist and who's not. Folks, I know what I am. And I know the traffic that I bring. And every single month, traffic remains strong here on Jersey First TV. Again, without all of you at home tuning in every Monday night, certainly sharing the replays on Facebook, on your Instagram, on Twitter, via YouTube as well. Obviously, the traffic on Spotify and SoundCloud, not just for myself, but all the great content that we bring you at Jersey First TV. Of course, with Elizabeth Nader, AJ Malillo, and Stephen Rimbolo. We're working hard for you, folks. We're working hard for you to bring you information that's engaging, that's entertaining also. But most importantly, folks, in an election year coming up, that's crucial to be as informed as possible. So when you go vote next year, right around, next November, that you're making an informed decision. That's what we do here at Jersey First, folks. And that's especially what we do here on Real Talk with Fernando Uribe. So for all the haters out there, that want to talk about my traffic or what I do or what I don't do or who I am or who I'm not, just know this, that this traffic is going to continue, right? This traffic is going to remain strong. And I know that for a lot of the haters out there that take exception with what I have to say, here's a spoiler for all of you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. I'm going to keep saying what I want, when I want, and about who I want. And here's an even bigger spoiler. There's nobody you can talk to politically or whoever, elected official-wise, that's going to listen to you, that's going to sit me down. Because while a lot of haters might say, well, if I talk to so-and-so, breaking news, there's nobody you can talk to, okay, that's going to listen to you and then sit me down. Because then that would mean that they take you seriously. And we all know when it comes to the haters, we all know who they are in New Jersey media and in New Jersey activism and everywhere else. Locals that wouldn't know their a-hole from their assemblyman or assemblywoman. But these are the people opining about what I do. Folks, it's the holiday season. Let me be a good Samaritan and a good Christian during the holiday season. Okay? I know that these numbers, 20,000 views. I mean, consistently, folks, for many, many months in 2023. And I cannot say enough how grateful I am to the team at Jersey First, to their CEO and president, Rosemary Becky, to the executive director, Ashley Smith, who continue to believe in what I'm doing on this program. I cannot thank you ladies enough. You have been a gift to me for believing in my abilities, for believing in my brand of award-winning opinion journalism, and supporting me, just like all of you do as well. And for all the haters, again, let me give you a little advice. I'm not sure if you live near a Walgreens, a Duane Reade, a CVS, but you know what? Every single month when you look at this traffic and these numbers, what I suggest you do, please, is go get some Neosporin and get that nice extra strength ointment for that burn. Because I'm going to keep burning you with the traffic every single week here on Jersey First TV. Folks, before we call it a night, it's time for final thoughts. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's interesting because tomorrow in the Mile Square city of Hoboken, there's a runoff election. Okay, there's a runoff election. I'm just sort of looking at my notes here. Okay, and I'm looking at, quite frankly, you know, I'm seeing a very hotly contested race in the city of Hoboken. But what has bothered me has been, quite frankly, the treatment of people that are supporting great candidates. And for the record, folks, for everyone from Hoboken tomorrow, the choice is clear. The choice is, it's undeniable. Okay. Paul Provenzano is the choice in Ward 1, without question. He's going to help bring some accountability to City Hall in Hoboken and not acquiesce to the Bala administration. Okay? The Bala administration that enables, we all know who they enable. My God, folks. Oh, God. I mean, are there two more uncoordinated white people that you've ever seen in your adult life? I mean, I've seen a lot. I mean, I've dated a lot of like uncoordinated white girls in my life, but my God, folks, that takes the cake with those two. But let me talk about really, folks, something that irritates all of us locally here in Hudson County. Okay? And that is the Lollipop Guild. Yes, as you can see them there, some of the most hideous looking people, folks, I think we're ever going to look at on camera. So again, my apologies. I know some of you are having dinner. I don't want to ruin your appetite. I don't want to ruin your dinner. Okay. But what's happening in Hoboken tomorrow is crucial. And Paul Provenzano deserves your vote, folks. And someone that also deserves your support is the current assemblywoman, obviously, who I know will be transitioning out, obviously, as we have new assemblymen and women in the newly revamped 32nd Legislative District, which now includes Hoboken. Right? But something that really has bothered me is not just the cheap tactics and dirty tricks that we've come to expect from the Lollipop Guild, from Ravi Bala, from Emily Jabor, from Joe Quintero, from Uncle Phil Cohen, from Vijay Chachuri, okay? The Lollipop Guild. These, and I'm going to say it right now, I don't care. And you know what? And I'm shooting with this one, folks. I don't care. Okay? I'm pretty well insulated politically, so I can say whatever I want. And quite frankly, the five over here can't really do anything about it. But I'm going to say this. Have you ever seen five more useless people in municipal government than these clowns? Okay? Never mind the cheap tactics that they're employing against Paul Provenzano, because we all know what they're doing. We all know who's operating under a fake Twitter account and spreading misinformation. Okay? We all know the blatant dishonesty that comes out of the mouth of Emily Jabor, okay, and Joe Quintero. and Phil Cohen and Ravi Bala, which, by the way, I always find it funny because I like going to a lot of these like local events. Free, by the way, because I don't pay to go in. I don't pay to get in anywhere. I'm Fernando Uribe. Okay. But it's always funny. I remember going to an event for Steve Fulop at the Beer Garden in Jersey City, and you would think, folks, the dirty look I got from Emily Jabor, I mean, that's kind of the same dirty look I've got from a lot of white girls, like exes of mine over the years. So I'm sort of used to it, right? But the same look from Joey and from Sleepy Phil, okay, and the rest of the Lollipop Guild in Hoboken. But what bothers me the most about what they're doing is the way that they've gone out of their way to minimize someone like Annette Chaparro. Okay? Annette Chaparro, who has served quite honorably in the state assembly. Now, there are plenty of times I disagree with Annette Chaparro on policy, and she knows it. I'm not breaking any news here. She knows because I've said it to her on the phone, in conversation. So it's not like all of a sudden, oh, I'm spilling tea. No, I'm not spilling any tea. Okay. I like tea. I like my tea. I'm not spilling any tea here. But when I look at the totality of work, when I look at the body of work for Annette Chaparro, she's been a good public servant. What Ravi Bala did to her in Hoboken was inexcusable. She was a good assemblywoman. To replace her because you wanted to give the slot to one of your buddies from your law firm, I mean, folks, if that doesn't reek of nepotism, of a monarchy in Hoboken, I don't know what does. But to make matters worse is to go out of your way on social media and vilify Annette Chaparro, who has done nothing but break her back, spent countless hours working for the people of Hoboken when she was the assemblywoman, when Hoboken was in the 33rd Legislative District, when she was working with State Senator Brian Stack. Folks, it's not even arguably, it's undisputedly the hardest working state senator in the state legislature. And when Annette Chaparro was working with Brian Stack, she worked day and night for her constituents, for her residents. It's unfortunate because of redistricting that Hoboken is no longer in the 33rd Legislative District. And because of that, unfortunately, Annette Chaparro fell casualty to Ravi Bala. Okay? Now, let me just say this too, because Annette Chaparro is a woman I respect. And for all of you haters out there that say, well, Fernando, Uribe is a misogynist, he hates women. No, I don't hate women. I hate useless women. I hate know-nothing women. And there's plenty of them. And coincidentally, they all seem to lean like heavy left in New Jersey. Have you noticed that? Right? Those are women I don't like. But someone like Annette Chaparro, that's a woman I do like. Because Annette Chaparro has worked honorably for Hoboken. So when she's knocking on doors, okay, and let's be fair about something. Annette is not some scorned woman who's salty, or she's none of those things. Annette cares about Hoboken. Annette cares about what happens in the Mile Square because she lives there. She may no longer be the assemblywoman, but she cares about her community. And that's why she's actively campaigning for Paul Provenzano. And that's why he is the better choice tomorrow in the runoff election. He's the better choice to help bring some accountability to City Hall, to bring some accountability to these halfwits, to Shady Joe, who I wouldn't trust to represent me in a traffic ticket in municipal court, much less any court of law. Okay? Or Uncle Phil, who, I mean, folks, is there a more useless public official than Phil Cohen, right, in Hoboken? Or Emily Jabor, who, I mean, again, I hate to pick on him, but it's so much fun. Folks, that never gets old. That never gets old. But folks, again, tomorrow night's election night in Hoboken. Runoff election. Polls open at 6 a.m. Make sure you go vote. make sure you show your support for Paul Provenzano and show support for people that have been out there knocking on doors, honorable people like Annette Chaparro, who we all know that this lollipop guild over here has done nothing but disparage her, has done nothing but minimize her, has done nothing but really undercut her when she's been nothing but a loyal public official to the city of Hoboken. Okay? Annette deserves better. So shame on you, Robbie. Shame on you, Emily. Especially shame on you, VJ. Shame on you, Joe, and shame on you, Phil. You're grown-ass adults. You're useless adults, but you're grown-ass adults. You should know better, okay, than to vilify good hardworking people like Paul Provenzano, like Annette Chaparro, like people that have been advocating for them. But instead, you'd rather continue your little dirty tricks, your cheap tactics, and mislead people. I'm hoping, I can't wait for Paul to win tomorrow because he's going to bring that accountability to the city of Hoboken. And again, hold the Lollipop Guild accountable. Because come 2025, folks, I'm going to tell you something right now. Ravi Bala's not winning the primary next year. Ron Menendez is going to slap him around in the polls like you wouldn't believe. Okay? Which brings me to 2025. Ravi Bala is on borrowed time politically. Because sure enough, he's going to lose the primary next June. And where's this political capital go from there? Nothing but downhill. But in the meantime, that's okay. And while he's in Dubai at a climate change conference, which again was really, really hysterical to me, but okay. You know, because I'm sure he flew on economy jet, right? And many people that went to that climate change conference in Dubai all flew economy, right? No, many of them flew on private planes, which, by the way, emit the most CO2 into the atmosphere. But yes, we're trying to fight climate change. Yes, of course. That's about as believable as the New York Mets playing in October in a meaningful playoff game. Okay? But folks, the choice is clear tomorrow. Support Paul Provenzano. Make sure and reward the hard work of good people like Annette Chaparro, who do not deserve the vitriol and everything that's been levied at her. You want to talk about not respecting women? It's funny when someone like Ravi Bala wants to, portray himself as a progressive, right? Wow. What a way to treat women, Ravi, by kicking Annette out of her assembly seat that she's worked hard and she's earned and that she deserved to keep. And then, unfortunately, the rest of the Lollipop Guild behind me want to treat people like Annette Chaparro like trash. They want to treat supporters of Paul Provenzano like trash online. It's kind of interesting because when we think about trash, right, you want to act like trash? Well, this is where it belongs. You want to act like trash? This is where it belongs. You especially want to act like trash? This is where it belongs. Folks, don't be trash. Don't be them. Be better than them. Elect Paul Provenzano tomorrow and make sure we bring accountability back to City Hall in Ward 1. I'm rooting for you, Paul. Go get it done tomorrow. And hopefully it does happen. But once again, folks, you want to act like trash, let's be honest, that's where you belong. All of you. Right behind me. Folks, and that's our show for this week. Once again, I want to thank Shirley Maia-Cusick, running in CD3 down in South Jersey. And certainly, folks, I want to thank her for her time and certainly want to wish her the best of luck. And hopefully we'll get to keep the house and add some seats to it in 2024. Folks, do not forget to also check out all of our great social media brought to you by Jersey First TV. Of course, make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Of course, subscribe to YouTube. Get all the fresh new content delivered in your notifications on the YouTube app. Of course, wherever you get your podcast on Spotify or SoundCloud. Download Jersey First and take it with you anywhere at any time. I cannot say enough how proud I am to be on the dream team of Garden State Media. It is Jersey First TV. Folks, brand new episodes of The Nader Narrative premiere every Thursday, hosted by the incredible Elizabeth Nader, and brand new episodes of Bridging the Gap with AJ Malillo and Stephen Rombolo premiere every Thursday. Of course, brand new episodes of Real Talk premiere every Monday night. Of course, check your local listings and social media for times, obviously, it's either 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check it out. And of course, we'll be closing out the episodes for 2023 shortly. And folks, I cannot say enough again how thankful I am to all of you that continue to make Jersey First TV the success that it is, once again, in Garden State Media. And I am New Jersey's premier award-winning journalist, Top 50 Latino as voted on by the Latino Spirit Online magazine, and also, of course, the United States Latino Affairs Initiative, without a doubt, the weapon of mass disruption in Garden State Media. Folks, the traffic tells you every single month. The people's choice and the people's voice. And yes, it's undeniable. The most handsome face that runs the place. It's me, Fernando Uribe. Folks, let's go Cowboys this Sunday night as we slap the Eagles around, hopefully, and take control of the NFC East. Folks, good luck with your Christmas shopping. Please party responsibly. A lot of holiday parties coming up. Once again, take care of yourselves out there. Be safe on the roads. Obviously, be safe shopping out there. Folks, always share the broadcast, share the replays throughout the rest of the week, and we always appreciate you supporting Real Talk right here with Jersey First TV. I am Fernando Uribe. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you next week here live on Monday night for the latest edition of Real Talk, once again, with Jersey First TV. And thanks for stopping by.